video, we're going to be talking about the fact that NATO should be disassembled, right? So let's get into the video, because, everybody's talking about NATO, and I really want to give my opinion on why it should be disassembled. And let's get into the video, let's go. So, NATO's original purpose was to stop the USSR if they went rogue, and, they decided to, go for world domination. So, at least they had a group of countries who could face the USSR and stop them for the greater good. So that was the original purpose. It's outserved it, right? So now, and Russia right now isn't trying to rebuild the USSR. Because Ukraine wanted to join NATO, Russia attacked them. Because if you look at Ukraine's shape, it's almost Russia's shape. It's like a funnel. Ukraine, if they joined NATO and World War III happened, it would open up Russia a lot, so it would be harder for them to defend their own territory and actually stay as Russia. Okay? Which is the main fact and why they actually attacked Ukraine. So NATO hates Russia. Well, not hates, but it's the reason they were made was because of the USSR, which is now Russia, basically. So Ukraine wanted to join NATO, and if Ukraine joined NATO, Russia is open to more attacks. So if World War III happened, it would be NATO versus everyone else, basically, almost, and some NATO people. But Russia isn't trying to rebuild the USSR. That's the main thing. But because they would be more open to attacks, they invaded Ukraine to stop it. So, NATO politics. So, there's actually a lot of NATO politics going on right now. So, in Canada, for example, they aren't meeting all the requirements. It's like you have to spend a certain amount of money, you have to meet these certain military standards, you have to do certain things, you know what I mean? So, there's certain things that they have to do, and they haven't been actually being able to do that stuff, which is a huge problem. So, Canada's at a bit of a fault. Wait, just give me a second, guys. Okay, so that cap was a bit harder than I expected. Cap was a bit hard to take off than expected. Sorry, the video just cut out. I'm gonna edit this back in together. Don't worry about it. So Canada is already at tensions here. So Canada is almost kind of getting crossed out. Well, guess what? Turkey, they're having a bit of disagreements with other countries and not really gelling well together. But they're really carrying NATO in terms of their military power and other terms of spending. Right? So Turkey is having to stay in, right? They have to stay in. But they can't get crossed up because they have to stay in. We need Turkey for NATO. Then Ukraine isn't even part of NATO yet, but they're still getting most of the same things as NATO members would. And they're getting huge supports and everything from NATO, which is a big problem. They aren't even part of NATO, and that's the only reason is because they're in an active war. So, how would NATO fare in a World War III? So, the key information is, well, even when you're in NATO, you don't have to participate or fight. It's completely voluntary. So, many countries wouldn't even support NATO or fight in the war. Now, the reason being is China owns many of the trade, so they basically equal the trade, right? So they're the majority of countries' trade. Now you can search this up over the years. So now, presently, it's China who dominates trades. But say if we go back, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 years ago, you can actually see it was the USA who was the main trade for all the countries that China mainly trades now. A fun fact, actually, was that when China was part of the UN, there was two people. There was the Republic of China and the People's Republic of China. The People's Republic of China won, except 70 countries voted against the People's Republic of China, and they were some African countries who bowed down to the US. And they bowed down to the US. And the USA didn't like the People's Republic of China. And so they didn't want them in. And guess what? Africa used to bow down to the US. And if Africa didn't, I mean, it was a political thing. So if Africa didn't support US wouldn't stop, would just stop funding them entirely, and they needed that funding. But guess what? Now China is the one who owns Africa. They're the ones who are doing all the funding. So the Africa, it doesn't bow down. So China is, because they're turning into an industrialized nation, they're getting all the resources that used to be held to the US. So UK actually has gone down a lot. I'm not sure if you guys know, but UK's power has gone completely down. Crime and everything is going up. There's huge problems in the UK and other countries, especially in the Western world. So if there was a war, it's Russia and China would easily win the war. China is because they're controlling all the trade routes. So a lot of countries wouldn't even fight in the war because of the businesses with China. They don't want to put that in danger. In terms of military power, NATO would win. But in the actual war, NATO would not win. It's not close at all. So China and Russia would win the war regardless, right? Because a lot of countries, their first priority isn't NATO. It's their citizens, their own country. That's the main priority. So NATO really should be disassembled. The amount of cons, the amount of problems that are of NATO far outweigh the NATO pros. So if it was disassembled, it would get rid of a lot of these problems, and the Ukraine war would probably be over if, like the Ukraine war, for example, the Ukraine-Russian war would just cease to exist completely, and that would be simply all because of NATO. If we disassemble NATO, this here would never have happened. That would just completely hold, because there would be no reason to put it in. A lot of deaths, a lot of things have been happening in Russia and Ukraine, a lot of casualties. They would stop the war. They're not going to continue with it. It just isn't worth it for them, right? So that would stop. It's a lot of the main problems are from NATO, right? So if actually NATO was to be disassembled, World War III would be very different. Probably even turn out the same. But NATO would stop a lot of the problems, especially in the Russia-Ukraine war, would benefit them. So even with the Russia-Ukraine war, how does that affect other people like us, you may be asking, who aren't directly affected by that? Well, guess what? You're gonna have rising gas prices, oil. Right, so Ukraine, actually Russia is the second biggest producer of oil and natural gases, other than the Arabs and the UAE. So if you've seen the gas prices, they've gone up since the Ukraine-Russian war gone. But guess what? That's not the only contributing factor. That's also because of COVID. So these two factors, plus combined, from our normal gas price, if it's say here, right, that's the normal gas prices. Well, guess what? Now the gas prices are all the way over here because of these two factors. It's the Ukraine war, number one, the Russian-Ukraine war, and COVID, because they want to make more money back. So this is the matter difference in terms of gas prices. And mind you, inflation's going up. Gas prices are going up. If everything's going up, how are you going to live? Because wages aren't going up at the same rate. They're just going like this. So you're going to have this much of a difference. And you're asking, well, okay, how can I live? House price, everything is going up. Your wages are not being able to make. And so people aren't actually being able to live in the way that they used to, which is just going to further divide the gap between the rich, the wealthy, and the poor. Because the middle class, if this is your middle class here, well, guess what? They're going to be going more into the poor, and the top are going more into the rich. There's going to be a more, so it's going to almost become like the 1800s, honestly, or present-day India, right? There's very little middle class. Is either you're very rich, so now there's going to be either very rich, or poor. You're going to be struggling to do stuff. So this is now the time where you need to make money. And guess what? All these contributing factors aren't actually helping. So then if NATO were to dissolve, it would actually help you. It would make such more of a benefit to you than if NATO wasn't disassembled. So using this research, and if you really want to find out more, do your research about the trades, how much China trades with a lot of countries. You should see, for example, Australia. If China wasn't there in terms of trade, Australia would not have any money. It would be a terrible place to live, and everybody would be free, because Australia does not have much things to do. It's not a huge country that has a huge GDP. The economy is great, but it's only being supplied by China because of their trade. It's such a high trade with China. Right, so you have to think about it. Where if it wasn't for China, if it wasn't for these trade routes, NATO, if NATO was disassembled, a lot of countries would be put in better condition, and the average daily life of a person would be put in much better condition.